It's a cold and rainy night for the start of the high school football playoffs. Tonight on CCX Sport, it's a first-round matchup in Class 6A as the Wayzata Trojans host the Centennial Cougars. Hello and welcome to Wayzata High School in Plymouth. John Jacobson along with Ryan Iverson and Allie Arlt. And Ryan, each of these teams I think feels they could be a little bit better as far as their one-loss record. Centennial comes in at 3-5, but 5 very close losses, and Wayzata 4-4 coming off a last-second loss to Maple Grove.
Well, you look at both of these teams, John, their records could be a lot better than what they are, and neither one of these teams want to be seen by another opponent in this playoffs because they're both very, very good. You look at Wayzata, we'll start with them. They got blown out by Lakeville North, who I think arguably is by far the best team in the state, but their other 3 losses were close and to very highly ranked teams, and Maple Grove, of course, has a phenomenal athlete and running back Evan Hall, so they're as good as anybody in the state. And I was talking to Lambert Brown before the game tonight, and he said, that schedule, we wouldn't change a thing because it's prepared us for right now, and I think they come into this as a team no one wants to play, and this is going to be a good matchup. Centennial at the same time, 5 losses by an average of 4 points, so they've been in every game, played a strong schedule, so very good game here tonight.
Yeah, the winner goes on to next week's play. Probably will take on Woodbury, who's a #1 seed. But so one thing to watch for tonight, the elements. Now you're playing on a turf field, but you do have rain expected to happen and continue throughout the game. How much does that play into what each of these teams wants to do?
I don't think it does, really, John. I think you, at this point, you're either good or you're bad, and whether it's snowing, windy, rainy, whatever it might be, 2 things that always matter in playoff football: 1, defense. You got to play great defense. 2, you got to win the turnover battle. So when it's wet, obviously, if you're going to throw more, running backs got to take extra care of the ball. But whoever can win that turnover battle and play solid defense is going to win this game tonight.
Should be a good one. Centennial, Wayzata, 6A playoff football coming up next here on CCX.
Local Vote 2018 focuses on the candidates that make key decisions close to home. As you decide how to vote for people who will represent you on your city council, on your school board, and in the state legislature, hear from the candidates themselves first. Whether it's a candidate statement on CCX News, local political forum, or election night coverage, you can find it all on CCX Media and ccxmedia.org.
Yeah, Wayzata High School getting ready for prep football. Centennial and Wayzata. And let's go down to the field now and Allie Arlt.
Yeah, guys, it's been a long season. Some of these kids are beaten up, so let's take a look at some key injuries tonight. For Wayzata, their lead running back, Christian Vassar, he's out. He has a sprained AC joint. Coach Brown saying it's just too painful for him at this point to take that ball and get in the rushing position. So I asked him, who are we going to see more of tonight, Underhill or Jackson? He just shrugged at me and said, we'll see, whoever feels like running the ball tonight. Now for Centennial, they've been out 3 weeks without their starting quarterback in Connor Zolk. He has a broken collarbone. In a wild move, Coach Higgins moved up his wide receiver, Ricky Eason, into the position. Guys, Ricky's never played quarterback before until 3 weeks ago. Unfortunately for Centennial, with him at the helm, they're 0-3, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Allie. And Coach Higgins really excited about this team, but they may be a year away. Mike Higgins saying, we're a junior-heavy team, really some really good talent, but maybe just not quite there yet. But, you look at their scores. You mentioned the pregame, Ryan. In some ways, they are right there. They're that close to winning a lot of contests so far.
Well, and you look at the last 3. They lost to Blaine 22-13. Blaine's is #2 ranked team in the state. That's a competitive game. Champlain Park, we've seen, they lost by 3, and then last week against East Ridge, they were leading that whole game, gave up 16 points in the 4th quarter to lose. So they're right there. And like I said in the pregame, John, when you have good defense, which Centennial does, they play very good defense. They're going to keep them in the games, but they found ways to beat themselves on offense. And anytime you lose a starting quarterback, it takes your offense a couple of weeks to really, you got to change different things, different settings, different timing, different down and distance play calling. So I'm expecting Centennial's kind of starting to get into the flow with, Ricky Eason as their quarterback, and they're going to start the ball. And what a great way on the road, start the ball, march down, get a score, and send a message to Wayzata that we're here to compete.
31 teams compete in Class 6A, here's a look at this quadrant of the bracket. Woodbury's the number 1 seed. They're at home against Egan tonight. The winner of this game, likely again, as I said, would play Woodbury next week. Cretin-Derham Hall, number 3 seed. Champlin Park, the number 2 seed. And again, the tournament continues next week.
And I would not be surprised to see Champlin Park Wayzata meet in the finals of this particular section. Both teams play tough schedule, and again, Wayzata is probably the best 4 seed you're ever going to see in the section tournament.
Reed Sanders with a kickoff. Zach Osmick on the return. Osmick, starting running back, gets it out past the 30. A nice return for the Cougars to get them to the 34-yard line, where they'll start to begin this game.
Well, and it seemed like a longer return. That's because that kick went all the way almost to the goal line. So really nice kickoff. There was a little gap there on the left side, and you can see, guys, that turf is a little bit slippery. You see guys when they're planting, a little bit slower on their planting. They're going to take them a series or two to really figure out how fast they can cut and plant. When that turf is wet, it's a different surface.
There's a look at Ricky Easton again. He's played just 3 games at quarterback, 7 for 24. There's 4 touchdowns, but also 4 picks.
And that's the key, picks. You don't want to give a team like Wayzata extra possessions. He's got to take care of the ball. If I'm Centennial, I try to get him some easy throws early on, get his confidence going.
Handoff goes to Osmick, who's only able to dive forward for a yard before being cut down. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
The nice thing, too, that Ricky Easton, he's a wide receiver. You heard Allie say that. So he's used to making plays with the ball in his hand. So he can be an effective runner. He's got really good speed. And don't be surprised for him to keep a lot of those. Those are kind of those option plays, a quarterback read. If he feels like they're not able to get it up the middle, don't be surprised to see him tuck it and try to get outside and use his speed.
So 2nd down and 9. They go on the ground, cutting back to the middle and picking up 3 before being slammed down hard at Noah Larson. Big tackle by number 72, Marcus Culp, the junior defensive line. You look at the Centennial starters for tonight.
That was a nice job by Wayzata setting the edge, not allowing that ball to get to the outside. Great job by the big fella, Marcus Culp, just coming right down the line. That's what you work on. Set the edge, force the ball to the middle, and then you got to have good team pursuit. It's exactly what they had.
So on 3rd down, Easton wanting to throw, stepping away from pressure initially, and then he goes down.
Just kind of a slower developing pass play. You can see right there, 2 fakes. That just doesn't buy enough time. Great job downfield, and a great job coming up the middle. You can see Trevor Palish, excuse me, their leading tackler and their leading sacker, and he does a nice job. One thing that was interesting there, John, I don't know if you caught it, but Wayzata was subbing late there. They actually had a 12th guy on the field when that ball was snapped, and I don't think the referee saw it. So they come out, get a big sack, and force a 3 and out.
Low snap, but the kick is away by Cameron Dickman. It bounces at the 48, and we down. It takes a Wayzata bounce at the 45. So short punt and great position for Wayzata to start the game.
Excellent job by Reed the punter there, just to scoop that without putting his knee down or letting that ball get by, and actually kicked a pretty nice kick, just took a bad bounce. And if you're Wayzata, it's exactly how you want to script the start of a football game. Get a 3 and out, get good field position, and take advantage of it.
Keaton Heide, the quarterback, as you look at his numbers on the season, 12 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions on the season. And a handoff on 1st down goes to Alec Underhill, the senior running back. Gains 4 yards down to the 41-yard line. You look at the starters tonight for the Wayzata Trojans.
Tell you what's impressive, John, about Heide when you watch him on film is he's got a big arm, he's tall, he's strong, and he just takes really good care of it too.
Underhill got some room outside, down the left sideline he goes. 20, nice cutback at the 15, still on his feet and spins all the way down to the 4-yard line. Comes up a little limp at the end though.
Again, nice job, very well blocked. You can see there's just no contact on that level on the line of scrimmage there. And if you're Centennial, that's where your linebackers, safeties got to be coming up, but they respect the pass so much. that you can see they were slow getting to the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Underhill, and they're already short at depth, obviously, at running back, so we'll keep an eye on that injury.
And up and straight up the middle into the end zone for a touchdown. Bennett Pregame, senior running back, for 4 yards. And it's 6-0 Wayzata.
What a better start, huh? 3 and out,
bad.
3 big plays, all running plays up the middle, establishing your physical dominance at the line of scrimmage. And when you can run the football, especially between the tackles, John, it opens everything else up, you know, the rest of your whole offense. So excellent job by the lineman that time. His extra point is good. Great push, excellent running. And that's how you start the playoffs off in the right way if you're a Trojan fan.
Look at it again. Pregame got good blocking on that left side, and he powers his way in.
You can see, I mean, there was contact right at the line there, but watch his legs. Watch him lower his shoulder right there. And he just takes the contact and drives the defender deep into the end zone. You know, and again, you look at the record, and that's why sometimes statistics and records, you got to throw them out, you know, out of the window here. They had a tough loss. They got handled by Lakeville North, as everyone has. Had a tough loss to Maple Grove last week. The other 2 losses were against Eden Prairie and Minnetonka, when Minnetonka was the #1 team in the state. So their losses have been close, and they've been good, and they've lost to the best teams in the state. So they feel like they're as prepared as ever. You know, when you have a big test, John, and sometimes the homework's not very hard. It didn't prepare you for that test. They've taken all the pre-tests. They've taken tons of studying, and now they're ready to take the test. And sometimes this test won't be as hard as what their regular season was.
Another strong kick by Sanders. This one through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Centennial will take over at their 20. So a tough start for the Cougars, trying to break this 3-game losing streak and continue on here in the playoffs as you look at the Wayzata starters for tonight.
Yeah, and I think if you're Centennial, this possession is big. You got to do something a little tricky. You got to get some momentum here. You don't want to come out on the road against a perennial power like Wayzata, go, you know, 3 and out twice in a row, be down 2 scores. They got to try something a little different here. Try to get a big play if they can. Get their quarterback some confidence and keep this game close.
Hand off by Easton, and a nice little run out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. That's Osbeck with his 2nd carry tonight, and he picks up 6.
You know, one thing you like when you watch Centennial's offense is it's very quick. You can see a lot of pre-snap motion, a reverse pivot there, and they don't need a ton of push because it's such a quick hitter. You just got to open up a tiny little hole. Osbeck does a nice job of hitting that hole hard, and that's a big play on 1st down when you can get 6 yards.
Second down, they'll stay on the ground, and again up the middle goes Osbeck, and he's picked up 8 yards here, and it is a 1st down, the first of the game for Centennial.
Yep, this is how you want to start the drive. You're going to see the ball on the ground. Again, a reverse pivot. Nice kick-out block there by Centennial, and really well blocked. Up front, you're going to see white jerseys are going to be outsized by the blue jerseys, so they're giving up some size, but a lot of times that means you got quickness. Sometimes you got a better center of gravity, John, and you don't need to hold those blocks long. You just got to open it up just enough.
Eason, short drop, throw down the right sideline, and trying to come back for the ball, but incomplete is Carter Anderson.
And that's one where, I mean, that ball hung up in the air, and that's where, if you're a receiver, Carter Anderson, you got to see that ball is coming short, and you got to adjust your route. That time it looked like he was looking up and just never came back to the ball. It was very well defended. Actually a good throw. If you're going to miss, kind of put it away where maybe Carter Anderson could go get that ball. And you see that a lot, especially in high school, where guys just don't adjust their routes to adjust to the ball.
Mike Diggins, 9th year head coach with Centennial, been in the program a long time, an assistant under Mike Watson, the longtime Cougars head coach. First down, and second down run rather, a short one along the right side, just a couple of yards, and Osmick slow to get up for Centennial.
That's not a good sign if you're Centennial. Great tackle that time by, I think that, I couldn't tell who made that tackle, but beautiful job. And again, a reverse pivot. They kind of tricky footwork. Nice kick out, but just a one-on-one open field tackle. And Wayzata, you're going to see they're a very good tackling team. You know, and that's when if you make that guy miss, you get another 5-6 yards out of it.
Okay, Chiraco on the stop as it is Osmic that's down holding his right knee, it looks like. And wow, that would be a big loss for the Cougars here. Look at him go down, and it's enough little twist in there. I mean, you look at those plays, sometimes they're nothing, and sometimes just depending on how you land or how you turn.
You hate to see that. You hate knees, especially in high school, and you certainly hope it's nothing more than just a little sprain, but it didn't look good. It looks like he's in quite a bit of pain too, and now you hate to see that.
Already carried the ball 4 times of their 5 rushes so far. So more of the rushing burden presumably would fall on Noah Larson.
Well, and that's where too, where, you know, when the ground's wet, it's cold, it's windy, you got to be able to establish that run, and this could be a really big loss for their team. Sometimes you can tell too how they get up. If they're able to put quite a bit of weight and just have a little limp, sometimes it's not as bad, but you can see that does not look good. I hate to see that. I hate seeing young kids, especially with knee injuries. You know, and these kids are young too, right? They're high school kids. When you lose a big part of your offense like that, it's natural for it to affect everyone else, to kind of feel like, oh man, now we're done, right? So Centennial right now is going to need leaders to step up. They're going to need someone to make a big play here to get them to believe that they're still okay once they lose their leading running back.
3rd down and 8. Anderson comes in motion. He gets the pitch, looking to throw. Chased way back down to the 20-yard line. He's in trouble. Now they're going to try to run and can only get out to the 26-yard line. That's the best he could do.
I like the idea, right? Try to catch Wayzata off guard. It was just a slow developing play, and Wayzata, a great job of staying home. You can see he was going to turn back to his left there to try to throw that back. No one there. And that's where maybe you want to just get rid of it, throw it away, and not take the loss on it. But excellent defense by Wayzata. Great job being disciplined. That's a loss of 10, so it's now 4th down back at the 26-yard line. You know, now you're back in that situation where, you know, a short punt and into the wind, and you're going to have another short field if you're Wayzata.
Anderson for his 2nd punt of the evening. Here you have that low snap on the first one. Able to get it away. Good snap this time. Big rush and good kick by Anderson. Takes a bounce at the 40 and not fielded, and it'll go all the way down to the 25. So a good job that time by the Cougars and by Anderson to get that kick off. And it goes for 49 yards and no return.
Yeah, and that's a return where you got to field that, right? I mean, he had good 10 yards of space, and by not fielding that, you get an extra 15 yards of roll out of it. So excellent job by Centennial. They're changing the field position battle, and you got to look for little wins like that. Now your defense, you got to trust your defense. There's a look at the Centennial starting defense, and they got to come out and make a big play, get a turnover, get a sack, get a fumble, get that ball back to their offense.
Idea on 1st down, they'll pitch it and a run out to the 29-yard line. It'll be gain of 4 on the run by Malachi Jackson, his first rush tonight.
Well defended that time.
Second down and 6 for Wayzata from their 29, 2nd series of the game for the Trojans offense. No fake to Jackson. Heidi will throw and gets the completion. Midfield out of the 40-yard line. Still going. Nick Callerup all the way down to the Centennial 22-yard line. One of their big tight ends. And the 6'4", 235-pound senior turns it into a huge gain of 49 yards.
Well, two things. Great play fake, and how accurate was that throw? I mean, that was extremely well defended, but when you got a big target like Caller up like that, Heidi put it right on the money, and the big fella showing off his footwork says, I'm not going to get tackled. I'm making some moves out here, and he did a heck of a job to get some extra yards.
Jackson gets the run. He's got a big hold. Jackson down inside the 10 to the 9. It'll be first down and goal.
The thing is, those read options, right? If you're successful in running that, those linebackers have to come up, John, and play that run. And we saw it on the last play. They come up, and that opens up the passing seams down the field. So kind of pick your poison right now. If you're Centennial, those front four got to do a better job of getting some push and slowing that run down. Because now Wayzata's really got everything on the table. They got running game, they got a great play action, and we've seen a nice pass to a big receiver.
Jackson gets the first down. Carey lowers his shoulder. He's in for the touchdown.
You know what I loved about that? It looked like he was going to make a move, John, right or left. He says, you know what, I'm old school. I'm going to finish this run off like a locomotive. Watch him lower his shoulder right there and just take the defender on, and he wins that battle. Finishes about 4 yards deep in the end zone. Great push, great blocking out in front. That was a great drive by Wayzata, and they did it in a hurry. Obviously set up by that big pass play to Callerup.
Sanders with the second extra point with 5:22 left in the first quarter. It's 14-0 Wayzata.
You know, and if you're Centennial right now, it's natural. You're, hey, we're done, right? You lose that confidence. You lost your running back. Nothing's gone right. You know, and this is where you got to dig down. And you mentioned too, John, they're a younger team. They start a lot of juniors, but you know, you got to have that urgency. This is what you put all the work in, all preseason, all summer, all fall, all regular season. We got to leave it on the table. Maybe we lose, but we got to give our best effort. We got to leave something good on this field. If you're Centennial, we're going to find out what they're made of on this drive.
Sanders for his third kickoff already here in the first quarter. And this will be out of the end zone or into the end zone and out.
What a weapon, huh?
Yes.
I mean, maybe not against Centennial, but as they move on, Wayzata, they're going to be playing against teams that got some great athletes and returners that can make big plays. And if you can put that consistently in the end zone, that's a great weapon.
You're already starting the team at the 20-yard line as opposed to the 30 plus. You know, so the first return of the game, it was out to the 33.
What do you think of Lakeville North? They forget the guy's name, but they got that Rajah Nelson is his name. I think he's got 7 return touchdowns on the year. But if you completely eliminate that, you know, by being able to do that, and it's just a weapon. And you know, we've seen at every level of football, John, you can win games if you dominate special teams. I mean, people underestimate how important special teams are.
Ball is loose. I think Centennial, I think Easton got back on it. He did. But it's a loss of 3.
And again, that wet ball, you got to take care of it. You got to be able to get something positive on first down. You can see there's the fake, and that time it just looked like Easton kept that ball in there. If he was faking that just a little bit too long. And this is where you got to be tricky too. You don't need a home run here, but you got to get a good 7-8 yards. You want to set up a third and manageable.
Second down handoff, and maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage was Noah Larson. That defense has been strong so far for Wayzata tonight. They'll give them a loss of 1. It'll be third down and 14.
I think that was David Sandahl, the number 30, the strong safety, just came up and was unblocked and just made a heck of a tackle. You're seeing, you know, I like this offense at Centennial. Some great ball fakes. You're not sure where the ball's going. But that's why you need to be disciplined and you need to make one-on-one tackles, and Wayzata's done a great job of that so far.
Eason wanting to throw on the run and gets the ball out to the 26-yard line. It is a completion, but it'll be shy of the first down. Riley Van Burskick on the reception. A gain of 10, but they needed 14. It's fourth down.
And that's where that first down play really comes in, right, John? You lose 3. If you could get 3 or 4 yards there, that's probably a first down type play, but it's a lot to ask your new quarterback coming in on 3rd and 13 to get to pick up the first down, especially when it's wet and cold.
No rush this time on Anderson's kick. And fair caught back at the 35-yard line.
Well, some excellent punting for Centennial. I'll tell you what, too, I was watching that play develop, John, and it looked like the fake punt would have been wide open. So let's keep an eye on that maybe down the road here.
Let's go down the field. Allie has a report for us.
Yeah, guys, I moved over to the Centennial side watching the trainers work with Zach Osmick. They're starting running back. It looked for a while like he was really trying to negotiate himself to get back in the game, but I'm watching this limp, and it is doubtful. Coach Higgins came over multiple times to Zach. He's actually checking in with him right now, looking for a thumbs up, but I don't think that his return is going to happen.
First down run, breaking tackles. Underhill all the way out to the 45-yard line, very close to the first down. Underhill, who went out briefly after he had that long 37-yard run, came up with a limp a little bit. Here gets close to 10. We'll give him 9. It's second down and 1.
And it looks like he's limping too a little bit when he's running off the field, but he didn't show any of that on that run. He hit that hole hard and drove, yards after contact. The yak, like the kids like to say, John, his yak was very impressive there on that run.
Second and less than a yard. Heidi fakes to Jackson. Not a lot of time to throw. Throws deep, and it is incomplete. Oh, it would have been a touchdown for Ian Hanlon and couldn't hang on.
Wow. What a throw. I saw a couple guys, a couple blue jerseys. I thought he overthrew his intended target, and then there down the field was Hanlon. And wow, he had a good 3 or 4 steps, and that hit him right in the hands. That's one he's going to want back, and I can guarantee you his teammates will be giving him a hard time this weekend about dropping that. But it's not always easy. You're looking back. Sometimes you get caught in the lights, too. That's one you got to have.
Jackson on third down, didn't need much. Got a couple out to the 46. And that gives Wayzata a first down. We got Lambert Brown, second year at Maple Grove. Or excuse me, Wayzata had been at Maple Grove as their activities director. Of course, had been a head coach before that down at Chaska.
He's got a great energy, great presence about him, right? You can tell that just by spending a few minutes talking to him, his knowledge, his passion, his energy. He's done a great job.
That ball through the hands of a couple of players and incomplete for Wayzata, trying to hit it to Callerup. And then
now does that count as two?
Oh, it was tipped. I didn't see that initially.
I'm gonna say that's 2 incompletions on that play, right? 3 people touched the ball. It was deflected. Initially, it looked like C.J. Warren, number 55, defensive end for Centennial, got his hands up. Nice job. Yeah, and that's what you're taught, too. If you can't get to the quarterback on some of those quick throws, get your hands up. He's a big, tall kid, too, and did a nice job of deflecting that.
Heidi was looking like he wanted to pass, tucks it down and runs, and gains a couple out to the 50-yard line. Gain of 3, setting up third down and 7.
And to the average eye, that you look at that play and say, well, that's nothing special, but he felt the pressure coming, and rather than force a throw, you saw in the year he's had 12 touchdowns with 3 interceptions. He says, you know what, I'm going to tuck it. I have some pretty good speed and power, and I'm going to turn that into a positive play. And you get 3 yards, 4 yards, and that sets up a much easier third down here than being 3rd and 10. So really heads-up play by the senior quarterback.
Has time to throw here. Zips a pass. It's tipped and incomplete. Nice pass breakup by Casey Coppersmith, junior linebacker.
And you see the depth that Coppersmith got on that, right? A lot of times linebackers are 5-6 yards. He was a good 15 yards down the field. And it looks like Wayzata's going to go for it here. But Coppersmith doing a nice job forcing that ball and was tipped. Otherwise, there was just nowhere to put that ball.
No huddle, back up to the line of scrimmage. They quick kick it. And a nice kick by Heidi. How about this? Down inside the 10, down to the 8.
Well, Centennial, if you're fortunate to get that ball back. Remember, John, there was a long pass play that was dropped that could have been a touchdown. So, fortunately, Centennial, nice job getting the ball back, but an excellent punt by Heidi there.
42 yards with no return, and so Centennial starts making 44 yards. They're back at the 6-yard line to start this drive. Eason on first down, ball on the ground again. Wayzata says they have it, and they do. And it's another play by Palish. We saw him earlier. The captain making a play. This time he comes up with a fumble recovery. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4.
Oh, just a nice job by Wayzata. Again, you see Centennial putting that ball on the ground, and Ricky Eason, that's the second time he's dropped it here. Let's see if we can see what. Yeah, you can see he's pulling that ball out, and it's probably slippery. You got to take care of that football. And Wayzata, you can see great hustle getting in there, diving on it. Palish does a nice job. He's just got a nose for the football. He's a middle linebacker, and I know that's a cliche, John, but it's so true. He's always around the football. How about this for setting up your offense, too?
This is the ultimate short field, right? 1st and goal from the 3. Pregame pushing forward. This time can't get into the end zone. And it's first carry, he had a TD, but he will bring it very close to that goal line. It'll be 2nd down and goal at about the 1.
Well, that's where you get behind some of those big guys. Tommy Ransom, Joe Salonik, Jack Carver. Just some big guys up front. You just say, we're coming right here, and there's might be nothing you can do about it.
And into the end zone untouched. And this time is Pregame. He's got his 2nd score. And Wayzata has their 3rd rushing touchdown of the 1st quarter.
Well, Centennial's not off to a good start when the highlight of their team so far has been their punting, right? Just defensively, they're just getting pushed up front. Wayzata's really had a nice rhythm, but it all starts because they can run the football tonight. I'll tell you, when teams can run the football, defenses have to come up and start defending against that. And when you got a quarterback like Heidi who can really throw the football, it just opens everything up. And we've seen a big pass play, we've seen a drop big pass play, but also just dominating offensive line play. Good job by the running back by committee here, certainly filling in. But watch the push on this. I mean, he's not hit. Look at the hole right there. Just a great job. He is in the end zone. He's a good yard deep before he gets any contact. You see a lot of blue jerseys 3, 4, 5 yards into the end zone. You can see his 2nd rushing touchdown. Just a really nice start for Wayzata. And I tell you, when I saw the draw come out, John, and I was curious. You got Lakeville North, you got Eden Prairie, you got Blaine, and you got Woodbury as the 4 number 1 seeds. And I thought Woodbury was by far the most vulnerable. And then as soon as I saw Wayzata right underneath them, I thought, if I'm Woodbury, I'm not thrilled about the way that the draw went, because this Woodbury team, or excuse me, Wayzata team, they can beat anybody in the state. They really can.
This will be the 3rd touchback by Sanders. Another one deep into the end zone.
We could have used him for the Vikings back against Green Bay, but the way he's kicking the football, what a weapon.
I see your guy Daniel Carlson, though, got signed by the Raiders this week, Ryan.
I don't know who's worse, Daniel Carlson or the Raiders, so that might be a match made in heaven right there.
Ouch.
No, I don't want it.
All right, well, see, Centennial, this is when you really test yourself. What can we do? We're down 3 scores. You can't get 3 scores back at once. You just want to have something positive go right for your offense on this series, right?
We just want to take care of the football. The last 2 possessions, they put the ball on the ground, and they recovered on the 1-2 ago. And you can see there's just nothing up the middle. There's the ball on the ground again.
Another fumble and recovered again by Centennial, but that's another one lost. This time recovered by Cameron Dickman. Now Dickman's in at quarterback now, and Coach Diggins had told us before the game that we could see him. He was a quarterback by trade, a senior quarterback. They had gone to Eason, but now they're going with Dickman, at least on this series, at QB.
And that one wasn't on Dickman, right? No. He handed that one off. It looked like the running back. And again, you got a wet ball. You got to make sure those handoffs and the timing. And again, when this kind of offense that's so predicated on timing, you switch quarterbacks, it's a different type of.
Dickman throwing, Zhang the completion, and he catches it out past the 20 to the 23, pickup of 8.
And it's a great play, right? Great ball fake, and not a huge play, but you gain 7-8 yards here, and you set up a 3rd down and manageable. Nice job going down to get that ball, and again, he does a nice job finishing the run.
And that's the end of the first quarter of play. Our score, great start for the home team. The Trojans of Wayzata leading Centennial 21-0 after 1. Back with more Prep Football on CCX after this timeout. Underway here in the second quarter. Dickman's throw incomplete, intended for Anderson, and he couldn't hang on. That would have been a 1st down for the Cougars, and instead it'll result in their 4th punt.
Well, and that's unfortunate that you have a drop like that, but Cameron Dickman has come in and played the part here, and that series just alone. Nice throw before this play. That time really got to set up and really deliver. You can see he's got a strong arm and very accurate throw, and that's one where Carter Anderson's got to keep 2 eyes on that, got to get that 1st down right now to stop the bleeding. Instead, you're at a short field again.
High kick, terribly deep. Keegan Nickel makes the fair catch at his 47. Punt of 30, but no return. Wayzata will take over near midfield.
Well, Centennial on the year, the most points they gave up was last week was 30 to Eastridge. So, have very good defense. Only gave up 22, I believe, to Blaine early in the year, and Blaine's a high-powered offense. So, defensively, they've really kept themselves in games against some pretty high-powered offenses. So, surprising to see 21 early points here in the first quarter given up to Wayzata.
From the 47, the handoff goes to Jackson. Across midfield and into Centennial territory, and a nice 1st down run, Ryan, of 6 yards by Jackson.
Well, Jackson did a nice job. He ran with great patience there. Sometimes you see running backs hit the hole a little too hard. Watch his patience. Right here, he's kind of letting things develop, and then when he sees that opening, then he gets north and south in a hurry. Those are the best kind of running backs, the hardest ones to defend, when they combine patience, but then when that opening is there, they got to get to it quickly, and Jackson did a nice job.
Centennial uses a timeout here. Coach Diggins has got the whole team around. Here's a message.
You know what? I love that. Yeah. I love that timeout. He's probably thinking right now, guys, you are playing like you are giving up, that you are quitting. We're not out there fighting. And it's a great teachable moment. It's a great learning experience, especially for the underclassmen of, hey, you're going to lose games, guys. I never lost in high school, but most guys are going to lose games in high school, and how do you respond to it, right? That's how you test someone's character. I think he just wants his guys to say, get out there and compete. Give me everything you got. Win or lose, let's win the next, 2.5 quarters. And a great job. He brought all the coaching staff, the managers, all the players, and great job there by Coach.
2nd down and 4 for Wayzata. All distance inside the Cougars 48. Billy Revere in motion, sets up right, and the handoff will go to Jackson again. Trying to find some room, but pretty well strung out by the Cougars. And another tackle made by C.J. Warren. He had a deflected pass earlier in the game, and this time comes up with a tackle on Jackson for no gain.
And he's on the right side of our screen. You're going to see him just get off that block. Great job. That's what you got to do to be a defensive end. You're going to get down blocked. You can't let that ball get outside. He did a great job of shutting that block, and then you see him just rip through and made a great tackle.
And sportsmanlike conduct penalty against Centennial. Yeah, we saw Warren celebrate after that tackle, but it didn't seem like
he pointed
anything excessive, unless that was not what the penalty was about.
I think it's against Wayzata.
All right. Offense. So 15-yard penalty and third down. So something after the play that was said by one of the Trojans players cost them 15, our first penalty tonight.
Yeah, I don't think C.J. Warren, did anything other than just celebrate a good play.
Right.
It didn't look like he got in the face or was taunting or, hopefully you're down 21-0. There's really nothing to taunt about. I think he just got excited following that timeout, that motivational timeout. Like, hey, I came off and made a good play.
So Wayzata gets backed up instead to their 38.
You got a big arm and you got some great targets to throw to. A 3rd and really long is not something that's inconceivable.
Heidi, some pressure up the middle. Flags are out. He's in a lot of trouble and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. And this will be Wayzata's first punt. I think this is going to be holding. Wayzata's going to be called on.
I'm sure it'll get declined.
And Wayzata will indeed punt and have 4th and 19 coming up.
Well, that was the best series defensively for Centennial. They gave up a pretty good chunk there on 1st down and then came back and got 2 big plays and really well covered down the field. Got some pressure on Heidi, and of course the penalty didn't help either, but this could be the first time they get some decent field position too. Remember, they've started all their possessions, backed up at the goal line or at the 20 after touchbacks. So
this is the first punt for Sanders, actually the 2nd punt of the game. You remember the punt that Heidi had on the little quick kick on 4th and 7 from midfield in the 1st quarter. Now a procedure penalty, and they'll be backed up 5 more. And another Centennial player is down on the field. Isaiah Bettinger, Jr. Defensive lineman is down and not looking comfortable. Boy, 2 tough injuries, it looks like, at this point for Centennial. They had the one earlier for Osmic and Bettinger, and some pain down there.
See Coach Diggins is talking to the referee about how does this happen.
Well, I don't know if it was the official had said something to him about the coach not being on the field or what that discussion was about. He was quite animated about what he had to say back to the referee. Take a look at the referee, or if it was something that he felt was.
Well, you can see,
or
it almost looked like he got shot a little bit south of the equator there, and sometimes that can be really painful.
Maybe he was thinking another flag should have been whistled for that. Not the most sportsmanlike play against this guy.
And when you do get hit in the groin area, it is one of the most painful things. The stomach ache that you can get and the uncomfort, and all that can help it is time. Right? Usually it dissipates after a minute or 2, but it can be really uncomfortable and painful. So it's good to see, and hopefully nothing serious there.
So Wayzata's offense now backed up to its 34. Remember, they were on the other side of midfield after the first down run by Jackson, but after the Centennial timeout, it's been all bad for Wayzata.
Maybe Coach Diggins needs a few more timeouts too.
Oh my goodness, and another flag. Another procedure penalty.
I'll tell you, Lambert Brown is going to get frustrated with this, and it's very common, especially in high school. You get up, you feel like you're in complete control. You tend to just lay off a little bit, and you get sloppy. And we've seen, back-to-back penalties here on Wayzata, setting up 4th and 29, and he's going to get frustrated. You got to stay sharp and finish halves, finish games, even if you got a big lead.
Big rush. Sanders gets the kick away, though, and it'll be fair caught back at the 33-yard line. Good kick by Sanders, and the fair catch by Noah Larson.
Nice job by the punting game again. Both teams really punting the ball well. It's still going to be the best field position starting, at least for the Cougars.
37-yard kick with no return. So Centennial gets a first down on their opening drive, Ryan, but nothing since then, since Osmic went out.
Oh, and let's keep an eye on Cameron Dickman. Since they put him in, I thought he had a couple of nice throws that last possession. See if that change just sparks him a little bit and see if they can get something down the field, John. I think they're going to have to open up and go down the field, take the top off, just to soften that front, 7 or 8 guys for Wayzata, because they're kind of smearing that run right now.
Brandon Zhang, one of the captains for Centennial, had a pass catch in the last series, gets a first rush of the game here. It's gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
He's only 5'7", but he's 190 pounds. He's a strong. Sometimes those kind of running backs are really tough to tackle.
Dickman, quick drop and a throw, and incomplete, they're going to say. Not quite held long enough out there by Ben Busker.
Well, and it's a second drop Dickman has had. Again, he puts that right on the money. That's an excellent tackle. Right as that ball got there, that's a good, solid hit. And I think that would have been short, but it would have been maybe a half a yard short. So, I mean, again, third and 1 is so much different than 3rd and 7. And, if you're Centennial, you got to help your quarterback out. He's had a couple of nice throws. You got to hang on to that football.
Third and 7, Cougars from their 37. And play game on Centennial. So their first penalty tonight.
And it's a big one. You want to just get something positive to build on. Get your offense some rhythm too. Let them stay out there for 7, 8, 9 plays. Instead, it's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Nothing seems to work, and you got a 3rd and somewhat manageable, and then you get that kind of a penalty. Now you're 3rd and long. Wayzata's expecting pass rushers are going to be blitzing, and it just changes the whole complexity.
Dickman steps up, throws, and almost intercepted. Hustled to get to the sideline by Jacob Bennigan. We've seen him do great things on the basketball court. Be also a football player, D-back for the Trojans, and had good closing speed on this and couldn't quite come up with it. And he would have ran out of turf as it turns out anyway.
Well, he leads the team with 3 interceptions, so he's a ball hawk in football as well. And you see how much ground he closed there. He wasn't in our screen. All of a sudden he comes flying in. Would have been a great catch either way, but you're right. I think he would have been a foot or so out of bounds. But
Anderson's punt angled toward the sideline, and will actually stay inbounds to be down at the Wayzata 37-yard line. Kick of 31 yards, and 5th punt already tonight for Carter Anderson. That rain has continued, Ryan, not a hard driving rain, but a very steady light rain / mist, a little bit of a breeze. Temperature in the mid-40s. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not terrific either.
One of those where it's harder to be in the stands watching, where it's, when you're out there playing, the temperatures are warm enough. And I tell you, Centennial's come out and played defense better. They're hitting and driving blue jerseys back here, but you know, as a player, these kind of games never bother me. It's those when it's 0 and 5 degree, when it's so cold where you feel every hit and the ground is frozen and it feels like concrete. This kind of game, these are fun. But we've seen Centennial be affected by the wet ball. We've seen them put it on the ground here a couple times, and we've also seen them, you know, drop some passes.
Pregame will get the call again, a second straight run. Again, about 3 yards on the carry. Tackled this time by Bettinger. We saw him go out earlier, and a nice job there by Isaiah to wrap him up and bring down the Wayzata running back. So now it's 3rd and 4.
Well, and he's a defensive tackle, so he's getting some good push. And you'll see Wayzata pull their guards quite a bit, and that time Bettinger did a nice job of following that guard and got some push into the backfield and able to wrap him up.
Keaton Heidi on 3rd down. He'll go again to the ground, and a nice hard run out to the 49-yard line, and Pregame gets the first down. Pick up a 5.
Yep, there's just a chance there. It looked like, I want you to see right there, it looked like he might have a chance to bring him down, but a nice job keeping those legs going, and then that's what you want to do, is contact, but you want to finish falling forward. Nice, strong, hard run. Picks up a big first down.
Austin Flashing unable to take him down. Had the contact, but a good hard run by Pregame. First down and 10, Wayzata from their 49. Just out of 8 minutes to play here in the first half. Heidi throws, completes, and then inside the 35-yard line, down to the 33-yard line. It's Billy Revere, their other big tight end. And we talked about Callerup in the first quarter, and it's Revere who has the catch here.
Again, nice, all set up by that play action. Those linebackers, they don't have to buy it much. They got to just take one step forward. And then, gosh, it helps, John, when you got tight ends who are 6'4", 230 and 240, giving you a nice big target. That's a pretty easy throw for Heidi, and they've gotten 2 big plays on that exact play, running right up the seams, those big tight ends.
Jackson off the right side, inside the 30, gain of 5 to the 29. Gain of 5 for him.
Well, and you're seeing just nice balance by this Trojan offense. I always think defense, it's hard to game plan. It's hard to stop when a team is really balanced because you don't know what to take away. You don't know when they're going to do it. And you saw a nice big pass play, and that kind of softens that defense up. Now you get 4, 5, 6, 7 yards, and you know they're in a nice rhythm, the Trojan offense is.
Spotted at 30. Second down coming. Fake that, or they give the Jackson. Flag is down. He breaks 1 tackle and gets forward to the 27. It's maybe coming back against Wayzata.
I'll tell you what, if Heidi, take a look at it, it's going to be a chop block.
On the defense. Did they signal it the right way that time? I don't know that. Have I ever seen that before? Like, what are you talking about?
Chop block on the defense.
All right.
Well, just keep in mind, if Heidi would have kept that one, he would have walked into the end zone. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Wayzata maybe have Heidi. We haven't seen him run much tonight at all, actually, but wouldn't be surprised to see him hold on to that football.
Penalty gives Wayzata not only a first down, but they're inside the 15-yard line of Centennial now.
Well, Coach Diggins looked as surprised as we were to the call of that penalty.
A wildcat here, wildcat look, but it was actually Heidi keeping the ball. He had a man in motion. I thought they were going to do something with that, but it is indeed Heidi just keeping it the whole way.
No, they just overloaded the left side, just a quarterback's designed sweep to the left. And you know what's funny? You can tell when you're dominating the game, and that didn't seem like anything, did it? And they, a gain of 5 or 6 yards on it. So I mean, they're just winning every first down.
Second down and 5 inside the 10-yard line.
And this is where you got to keep in mind with those 2 tight ends, right down the seam.
It throws over the middle, and that's completion. Good call, Coach Iverson, and that's Callerup with the TD.
I'll tell you what's tough is you got Revere on the one side, and you got Callerup on the other. So you got both targets. It's just it's a play. You're getting that linebacker to take that step, and you read either direction, and you know, there's just not many guys, especially in the secondary, that are going to be able to match up height-wise. Yeah, well thrown, a little bit behind, but nice job by Callerup going back to get it. And he's shown to have really soft hands, and so does Rivera. They're two of the best pass-catching tight ends you're going to find, and big bodies. And again, all set up because you've been able to run the football successfully. And again, it goes back to that balance. We saw a couple of nice runs, and here's not a great play action, but just enough where that first level of defense has to come up and respect that, and you get a big seam there with a big target. Nice play call, great execution.
28-0 Wayzata.
I'll tell you too, those tight ends, John, they're a legitimate 6'4". I was down on the field, and I'm 6'3", and you know, with their helmets and cleats, he looked a good couple of inches taller. So I know sometimes you might fudge the height and weight a little bit on the program. They're a legitimate 6'4" for sure.
So a touchdown for Wayzata, first through the air tonight. For Heidi, his 13th touchdown pass of the season.
You know, that's a lot of NFL quarterbacks would be jealous of that 13-3 touchdown to interception ratio. So, I mean, just really impressive, especially against the level of defense that Wayzata's played against this year too. I mean, that might be one of the most impressive stats around. 13 touchdowns to 3 interceptions for Heidi.
So it bounces at the 9, picked up, and a little steam down the left sideline, and a good return out past the 30 to the 32-yard line by Anderson. They picked that up. He almost got tackled as soon as he picked up the ball and made a nice run out of it of about 25 yards.
I swear sometimes you want to remind kids that that's a live football, right? After it goes 10 yards, you know, it's a live ball, and kind of nonchalantly came up to it, but then once Carter Anderson got a hold of it, I mean, he certainly moved nicely, a nice return, but that was one of those where you're a little nervous as a coach, like, get on it. I think there was a penalty.
Unfortunately, there's a penalty, and they're going to be back to the 10 after all. So the Anderson return is wiped out, and again, Cougars will have poor field position. They've had twice outside the 30. Everything else has been inside the 20 or a couple of times worse.
Well, this is where you just want to get a couple of first downs, right? Change the field position. Wayzata's offense is in such a nice rhythm. You don't want to just go 3 and out and have them right back on the field in a short field. But you also don't want to turn it over. You got to make sure that you take care of the football. You can see it's still raining pretty nicely out there. You don't want to put the ball on the ground or throw a pick and give Wayzata a really short field.
Zhang the carry. It's 2nd down and 8. Cameron Dickman has remained in at quarterback for Centennial. Side give and a run out past the 15 to the 17-yard line. Austin Flashing his first run tonight.
Nice quick hitter, right? Right up the middle there. And some of the Centennial plays, you've seen take a little bit longer, a couple ball fakes. That one was just a quick trap right up the middle and really got a nice push. You know, really one of the first times tonight, John, they've had a 3rd and short. You know, we've seen a lot of 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12. It sets up a nice down and distance for Centennial.
Third and 1. And I don't think Flashing got it. There was good penetration up the middle. And they stop him short of the first
he
down.
Got it. They're giving it to him.
All right. Sharaka comes up, makes a nice hit on it, but it is going to be enough for a first down, just enough.
I think that last effort forward right there.
Good job by Flashing to just not get knocked all the way back on that run.
Because he was hit short. You can see that momentum went back, but then he kind of had that second effort where he leaned forward, and it was enough for a first down. So nice job by Centennial here to pick up a first down.
The first one since the opening series of the game. Stay on the ground, this time just a couple of yards against Flashing on the carry. Past the 20 to 21-yard line. Kalish, last one off the pile for Wayzata.
You know, 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, John. You know, this is where if you're Centennial, you want to go on a nice drive here. Try to get points on the board. Because remember, Wayzata is going to receive the kickoff too in the second half. Last thing you want to do right now with, you know, 3 minutes left is turn it over or go 3 and out, give Wayzata the ball back with the chance to score before half. Oh, good push.
Good push up the middle and no gain for the Cougars on that run.
Joe Demro, number 99 there, got a nice push. Up the middle, he saw big number 72, Marcus Culp.
Look at it again, Ryan.
Yeah, look at that push. Just a great job up front by those defensive tackles.
Demro does make the tackle, a big junior. They think a lot of him. He's an outstanding high school defensive end. And on third down, a nice run by Centennial and a gain out past the 30 to the 32 to pick up another first down. And it's a run for Noah Larson.
Well, just a good ball fake. You see him fake to the first running back. It's kind of a different looking play, right? It's like it's an I formation. You just fake to the fullback and then hand to the halfback right behind him. But, you know, just a little bit timing different. And again, it doesn't need a lot of sustained blocking, just enough to get Larson into that second level. And that's a big third down conversion there. I really think so.
First and 10 from the 32. Dickman to throw. Completion. There's another first down. Anderson is out to the 43. It's a gain of 11.
Yeah, nice easy throw for Dickman, and he's throwing the ball well tonight. And Carter Anderson hangs on to that one. You can see Wayzata swarming to the ball, trying to rip that ball loose and get a turnover. Nice easy throw. They're giving him a nice cushion here. See, trying to rip that ball out. Nice job just to hang on to it by Anderson. Oh, we got another injury.
Anderson. Is down. So Centennial with one first down until this drive, and now 3 first downs here to get the ball out past the 40.
You can see anytime that the leg gets kind of bent like that.
Oh, and then the blow to the head near the end. Not flagged, but he definitely rung Anderson. He was very slow to get up.
Which you're surprised, because you've seen some hits that are a lot worse than that, kind of late to the party like that. You saw his head snap there. That's scary.
No, Carter Anderson slow to get up.
Well, we've seen Centennial lose their running back and now maybe their best wide receiver and punter. You know, you just got to keep overcoming injuries and keep grinding, next man up mentality.
From the 43, under 2 minutes to play in the half. On the ground, a short gain, a couple yards out to the 45-yard line. It'll be timeout for Centennial. Their second timeout. Flashing got the carry.
Well, I think to try to score against Wayzata with 1:37 left, they're going to have to do something down the field. You know, they just haven't been able to break that up, between the tackles. We saw a nice pass play to the outside, but some type of screen play or maybe a reverse or a seam play down the middle. They got to get 10, 20 yards down the field, I think. I think it's there if they could, run some play action, because they've been running the ball somewhat effective on this drive, and you got to use that to your advantage and get the defense coming up. You got to get the Wayzata defense, who's got good speed. You got to get them out of place and just out of rhythm a little bit. That's where I'm thinking halfback pass or screen or double pass, something of that nature, that maybe you catch Wayzata in the wrong package on that play and you get something down the field.
Second and 8 here for Centennial. Under a minute 40 to play in the first half. Seemed like an unusually long timeout, didn't it?
Well, Centennial was waiting at the ball.
Right.
Sometimes in basketball, you'll see the referee just set the ball down and start counting. I thought maybe they were going to let Centennial just snap it.
Dickman, second man through, gets hit in the backfield, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Doesn't it just seem like that play takes a little bit, about a second too long to develop? You fake it to the first running back, and then it allows that second where you just get good push and good speed. And there was just nowhere to go that time.
3rd and 9, and now Centennial, until they get another first down, and if they get another first down, hold on to that last time out. Dickman loses the ball as he tries to go back to pass. The ball is still loose down on the ground back at the 40.
I think Wayzata got it. Yep, they did.
As Wayzata football, Carlton Ogata coming up with the fumble recovery.
He got it there. Watch, Dickman drops this. He goes down and he gets it, but watch the hit that's put on him. Just a great hit. No chance for Dickman to recover that. And again, you see blue jerseys. There's Ogata getting on his knees to recover it. And
Rokes with the big hit, number 1. They'll force it loose, and Ogata with the recovery.
Well, that's just a heads-up play by Rokes, right? You see him, the quarterback bending down and just laid into him. Great tackle. And Dickman didn't have a chance there to get back on it. Heads-up play and another turnover. Wayzata with a short field. 3 timeouts, plenty of time.
Heidi gets sacked back at the 48. Casey Coppersmith with the sack.
It looked like he just came there just unimpeded. That's where there's a running back. You got to pick that up. Yeah, Jackson, number 34, after that fake, kind of had his head looking forward. If he sees that guy coming, Coppersmith coming on the edge, and picks him up, kicks him out, I think Heidi steps up into the pocket and can make a throw. But
that's a linebacker's dream, isn't it?
No, that free rush on the end, yeah. You love coming free like that, but you get kind of that blind side, or the quarterback doesn't see it. That's what you practice at home. But you're going to see, watch Jackson, right? 34. Did you see after the fake how he stepped forward? If he knows where that pressure's coming from and is able to just slide to the outside, I think that buys enough time for Heidi to step up into the pocket and be able to make that throw down the field. But that's what you got to do if you're Centennial, especially, short field. You move them back like that. That's a big-time play. And if you're Centennial, obviously you love nothing else than to get out of this half, 28-0 at worst.
2nd down and 18. Wayzata still with 2 timeouts remaining. 3 receivers to the left here for the Trojans. Heidi will roll that way, throwing deep and down to the 10, and it is caught.
Wow.
Connor Hale with his first reception tonight, and it's a big one. Wayzata's got it first and goal.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what was more impressive, John, the throw or the catch. Watch Heidi rolling to his left. He never sets. You know, that's so hard to do, not be able to plan off your back foot. He throws that ball a good 45 yards. Just a great catch, too, up the middle.
Jackson gets the call on first down and goal, and he'll bring it inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line, and now Wayzata will use its second timeout. That catch to Hale was inbound, so as soon as they set the first down sticks, you look at the great grab again. Wow, that's a terrific throw and catch. The clock started to run again.
Remember how earlier we talked about receivers adjusting and coming back to the ball? That time Hale could see that ball short into the middle, adjusted, and just went over the defensive back. Great concentration. Great job by Connor Hale to come down with that. And again, that was just a heck of a throw too. Going to your left, you got pressure coming, you know you're gonna get hit. Can't really plant off that back foot. Still got enough arm strength to get it down a good 45 yards. That's a big play.
Second down and goal. Now they're down to 12 seconds to go. You have one timeout left.
I'll tell you what, that timeout is being key. You really can run any play right now, because even if you get short of it, you got that timeout left. You know, second and goal. I wouldn't be surprised here to see a throw to the end zone, see if you can complete it. If you don't, you know, you got about 8 seconds. So you still got plenty of time. And this is where those two big tight ends, you got play action. It looks like they're going to run it up the middle here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a play action.
Pregame is in for his third touchdown of the night.
And really, again, just walked into the end zone. Great push on that right side of the Wayzata Trojan offensive line. Just a heck of a push. That formation's given Centennial trouble. And they've been able to run. They've scored 2 touchdowns out of that same formation. I'll tell you what, that's how you end the half if you're Wayzata. You get another turnover, and then what do you do with it? You execute. You get a big pass play, and you punch it in right before the end of the half. And 35 points at halftime, that's the most points Centennial's given up all year. And Wayzata's been able to do that right here before half. Just an excellent job kicking out on that right side. You got Jack Carver and Joe Salonik, the right guard, right tackle. You see Tommy Ransom, number 67, out in front, pulling on that too. Just really well blocked. And you see he's got 3 touchdowns, none longer than 4 yards. That's when you come in and you're called the finisher. You finish it off.
35-0 Wayzata. Enough time for kickoff and maybe one play.
No more fumbles, Centennial, right now before halftime.
Smiles on the Wayzata sideline. They got to be happy. They had a lead in that Maple Grove game. They were up 20-3 at one point. Ended up losing it in the final seconds on an Evan Hull touchdown run. And I'm sure disappointed by the way their regular season ended. But certainly have come out with great deal of passion and execution tonight on both sides of the ball.
No, and they're coming off a frustrating loss too last week, right, to Maple Grove. So that, in a way, that's kind of a good thing, because then your coach gets your attention, you know, and you know you got things to work on, and you're angry about your record, you're angry about your seed, and you want to come out and prove that these guys made a mistake, and we're not a 4th as that ball goes out of bounds. We're not a number 4 seed. We should be a 1 or a 2 at the worst. Guys, let's go out and prove it. And I can tell you that right now, Woodbury, they're playing, and they're probably going to win their game. And they're going to look at this tape, and they're going to say, how do we get rewarded playing this Wayzata team in the second round?
They'll have a home game, and that'll be the best thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be a good thing for the Royals. And look at that line that's done a great job tonight so far in this one.
Well, if you see 3, 4, 5 rushing touchdowns in a game, that, you know, it means you got a good running back or good running backs, but it also means your offensive line has done a good job. And on a couple of these touchdowns, I mean, the running backs haven't had contact till they were in the end zone, and that's a tribute to that offensive line, and specifically on that right side of the offensive line, getting great push.
flashing the back behind Dickman. He'll pitch it, and it's going to be a loss. Initial contact by Ogata, who had that fumble recovery earlier, and then finished off by Rokes and Demro, and we are at halftime.
Would you just begin the slower developing play that allows Ogata, who's got great speed. He's a good 4 or 5 yards deep in the backfield, and just no chance for that play to develop or go anywhere. So, you know, if you're Wayzata, other than that stretch where they had a bunch of penalties in a row, I mean, I don't know how you could have played a better first half.
Let's go down the sideline. Allie Alt standing by with Wayzata head coach Lambert Brown.
Yes. Coach, I know you're liking what just happened in that first half. How are you guys able to execute such a balanced attack in those 2 quarters?
You know, right now our defense is playing awesome, which means we're getting a lot of possessions. You know, because when you play a team that can run the ball like Centennial can, you know, if you let them keep getting first downs, they grind up a lot of clock. So our defense is playing great. You know, and I think we're able to spread the ball around. We got a bunch of guys that are playing really well, and our O-line's playing well. So being able to spread that ball around and move the ball to a bunch of people, I think makes us hard to defend as well.
Centennial's starting running back is out. They make a change at quarterback. How do you capitalize on them kind of trying to flounder to find their way through this game?
You know, right now we're going in talking to our kids about just being able to go and play. We want to know each play right now, and we're kind of worried about us right now. I think when we go play, we can go and make sure that we just take care of our assignments and do our 1/11th, and we're going to be okay. And so that's kind of what we're hoping to do right now, just kind of come back out, have a strong second half, and get a chance to play next week. So right now we just got to go finish.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, thanks, Allie. Thanks, Coach Brown. We'll hear from Centennial Coach Mike Diggins before the start of the second half. 35-0. Wayzata leads Centennial. We'll take time out and come back. Our halftime coming up from the second half of play. You're watching playoff football on CCX Sports.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
A rainy night in Plymouth. The Wayzata Trojans leading the Centennial Cougars 35-0 here at halftime. 6A playoff football. First round matchups. 4 versus 5 matchup when you expect sometimes a close game, but we haven't had that so far tonight. Look at some highlights from the first half and a big run on the first offensive series for Underhill. Alec Underhill getting it down to the 4-yard line, set up a touchdown run by Bennett Fragamenti. The senior bringing it in from 4 yards out to put Wayzata up 7-0. Just over 3 minutes into the first half. Some good runs early for Zach Osmick, number 24, but then he went out with an injury. Through the air, Wayzata able to complete. Nice catch and run here. Nicholas Callerup on the reception. Brings this one for 49 yards. Set up another touchdown. This one by Jackson. Lackey Jackson getting it in for a touchdown. And then turnovers for Centennial. They gave it up a couple of times on the ground to set up another touchdown run for Fragamenti. They get them in and ahead now 21-0 after that score. Completion for a first down to Billy Revere, and then a touchdown pass going to Callerup on his second reception of the night. Centennial able to put together a couple of first downs right before halftime.
Yeah, they got 3 first downs. Looked like they had a nice drive going, and kind of similar to what we saw earlier in the night. Instead of a 3-and-out, a turnover, they put the ball on the ground, and that led to this. Just a beautiful throw and catch, really. Just an excellent throw by Heidi to Connor Hale, who made a great catch.
And it sets up Fragomeni for his 3rd touchdown. So Bennett Fragomeni, only 7 carries tonight for 22 yards, but he's got 3 scores. The leading rusher so far, 8 carries for 43 yards, Malachi Jackson. As you look at the numbers and look at how that's tilted to the right side of the ledger.
Well, not only do you see the total yards, 232, but look at how they've gotten there. You talk about balance, right? And just not knowing whether you're going to run or pass the ball. I mean, 117 to 115. Rushing yards, Centennial 10. I mean, there's someone who averages, high 100s, almost 200 rushing yards per game. And so great job by that Wayzata defense. Something to keep in mind, too. Alec Underhill had that first, we saw him have a nice big run early in the game. Came out limping, and we haven't really seen much of him since then. So something to keep an eye on. And then you wonder at what point, do you have this game sealed up, John, where you take some of your starters out? You don't want to get any injuries, too, in the second half. That's always a kind of a conundrum to figure out as a head coach, especially in the playoffs.
Our halftime score, Wayzata 35, Centennial nothing. Take time out and come back and look at the 6A playoff bracket and more as we continue with our coverage of high school football on CCX Sports.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Sweet Caroline always gets the kids fired up, doesn't it, Ryan?
They're just lucky we don't have a camera up here to see what we're doing today. I love this song. Just always puts you in a good mood, doesn't it? You like to see the kids know this kind of music still.
Jersey night. Yeah. I like all the different jerseys here.
It's funny, you see Wayzata and Maple Grove, both student body sections, a lot of times will wear jerseys to these games.
I like the kid in the middle up in there, top of the old Seattle Supersonics jersey, number 35 there. That's awesome.
It's fun to see. Again, that's a fun part of high school football, seeing the support like that.
Here's the brackets again coming into play tonight. Woodbury and Egan, the Wayzata Centennial. The winners meeting next Friday at the high seed. Cretin-Derham Hall, Lakeville South. Champlin Park, Shakopee playing tonight in Brooklyn Park.
21-0 right now, Champlin Park. And then that Woodbury-Egan game, 7-0 Woodbury. So that went a little closer than I think people thought, too.
So if you're looking at a bracket, this would be the upper right-hand bracket. The bottom right-hand bracket looks like this. Lakeville North, the number 1 seed there, taking on Hopkins tonight. Maple Grove is up on White Bear Lake. They're presumably going to Lakeville next week for a rematch. St. Michael Albertville at home against Roseville. Edina at home to take on Farmington tonight.
That'll be an interesting game because Edina, great defense, low scoring, and Farmington puts up points in a hurry, and they give up a lot of points, too.
Top left of the bracket, Eden Prairie gets a bye, and they are into the next round against either Mounds View or Burnsville. Minnetonka Anoka playing tonight at Einar Anderson Stadium. Rosemont at home against Stillwater. And the bottom left bracket, Blaine, the number 1 seed there, taking on Tutino Grace, who played Champlin Park really tough last Wednesday in that game that we did. Prior Lake at home against Buffalo. Eastview hosting Armstrong. East Ridge at home against Forest Lake.
Buffalo right now with an upset brewing. They're actually leading Prior Lake at halftime.
Let's look at the scores that we have of the games in progress right now. Woodbury up just 7-0 on Egan. Cretin-Derham Hall losing. That would be an upset with Lakeville South with a 13-7 lead. Champlin Park, as Ryan mentioned, up on Shakopee, 3 scores. Lakeville North up 17-0 on Hopkins. Maple Grove up big over White Bear Lake, 28-0. St. Michael Albertville, a touchdown lead on Roseville, and Edina up big on Farmington. It looks like Maple Grove and Edina for 2 are going to advance in Champlain Park, all with comfortable leads.
Evan Hall having a really down first half. He's only got 7,000 yards rushing tonight in the first half. 3 touchdowns.
It was a kid that, well, we'll talk about more. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. More football tonight here from Wayzata. Kids are enjoying it. They don't mind the rain.
Well, you got Miley Cyrus after Sweet Caroline. Just an odd selection of music, but the fans are loving it.
35-0 Wayzata up on Centennial. We'll take time out. More football and more coverage of Wayzata Centennial after this.
I've been delivering Meals on Wheels to Leon for 13 years.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Leon has definitely inspired me to put more into my relationships. He really cared for his wife, who was ailing for quite a while, in such a touching way that inspired me to be a better person.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Wayzata 35, Centennial nothing here as we get ready for the second half of play.
I'll tell you what, second half, we'll see what they play on the field, but we might have more fun just watching the fans dance along here. They're just having a great time. That's how you keep warm out there. You keep moving and great music. Love to see the high school kids having a good time.
Yeah, we talked about before the game the turnover battle and how important that would be and who plays defense, as you pointed out, Ryan, and certainly tilted the way of the home team tonight. They take advantage of the 2 Centennial turnovers, turn them into scores, and obviously playing great defense so far.
No, you're absolutely right. You saw 2 turnovers, 14 points off turnovers, and again, holding Centennial to 10 yards rushing.
Let's go down to the field now. Allie standing by with Mike Diggins.
Coach, it's tough when your starting running back goes out. You got to make a change at the quarterback position. But 35 points is the most you guys have allowed all season. What happened there in the first?
We just got blitzed. I don't know. This is not the same team that I've coached all year long. We came off flat and for some reason just didn't play well. And it's like 2 years ago when we played them at our place. The same thing happened, but reversed. We blitzed them, and it seems like kids, and that's what I'm talking to our kids about. Hey, don't quit. Win this half at least. Try to be the Centennial football team that I know of.
What do you guys want to try to change up to turn things around here a little bit in the second?
I think we just got to tighten up our D a little bit, but we also got to get some first downs. We got to be able to run the ball and have a little pride in what we do, and that's all I'm asking for our kids.
We appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach Diggins. And hey, you like to hear that. It's the right message you gave a kid. Hey, let's win this half. And for these kids who are playing, some of them, there's a lot of juniors in this team, but there are some seniors who are playing their last half of football. Go out strong, go out as winners.
Oh, I like what he said. Like, have some pride in what you're doing, right? We're still playing football. Yeah, we're down 35. That was as bad of a half as we could possibly have, but don't do it for me. Don't do it for your family. Do it for yourself. Care in what you're doing and how you're representing. We got all these people that drove a long way to watch you guys play in the cold and rain. Like, let's go out with style. Let's play Centennial football, run the football, get stops on D. And, I have a lot of respect for Coach Diggins. And, again, it goes back to, remember when he called that timeout, right, to kind of get on his guys. I thought that was great. And, I'm sure at halftime it was just a lot of psychological, hey, believe in yourselves and go make some plays. Enjoy it. For you seniors, this is your last half. Make the most of it. And it's a great message. That's really all you can say at this point.
First time we've seen Ricky Hemrick kick off the ball tonight as we get the second half underway here tonight at Wayzata. Short kick handled at the 20. A lot of room up the middle of the field. Across midfield and deep into Wayzata territory, and a great run back by Jacob Benninga.
You can tell he's got some good speed. There was a flag on the play. Usually it's a block in the back or a hold.
Not one flag, but 3 I see on the field now as I look back. So the Benninga run back will come way back, and Wayzata will start, looks like probably inside their 20-yard line.
Well, Benega's not one of the deep returners. He's kind of that second wave there, but you could tell he felt very comfortable knowing what to do when he got the ball in his hands. Watch him pick this up, and you know, we've seen him on the basketball court, like you alluded to, having some great quickness and speed. That time just takes off, and I don't think the hold that they called, you can see it way in the background there, had any impact whatsoever on that return. So kind of negated a great kickoff return by Benega. You know, we heard Coach Diggins talk too, and I think equally as important, I think Coach Lambert Brown told his guys to finish this off. We got to finish this off. You know, they're building on this, you know, going into round 2 against a really good opponent, and they don't want to be sloppy. They want to be sharp.
Malachi Jackson gets the call on the first run of the second half and picks up 4 yards. I mentioned Jackson has scored in the first half. It's his 9th rush tonight. Second down and 6. He'll get right up to the line of scrimmage. I like this, a little bit of change of pace and no huddle. Heidi's going to keep the ball, trying to get outside, and pursued pretty well by Flashing and driven out at the 25 after a gain of just 1.
Yeah, kind of a weird looking developing play there. It looked like a designed quarterback draw there, but it took him quite a while to develop, and Flashing was there waiting for him on the outside. Nice job by Heidi there. Just again, he's a big kid, got good height and weight, and able to good speed too. Got to the outside, well defended, but still picked up a yard or 2.
Third down coming, and a false start on one of the receivers. Got an early run on the outside. This will set Wayzata back 5. So make a third down, just about 10 for Wayzata. Long look to the sideline to get the play. Takes the handoff to Jackson. Heidi throwing, going deep and incomplete. There's a flag down intended for Hale, but really didn't have a chance to get the ball. Coppersmith back defending is going to get whistled here.
Well, Coppersmith was in good position, but again, when you don't get that head turned around, and Hale did a great job. We saw him make a great catch in the first half. That time he did a great job of coming back to the ball. And again, if you don't turn around, it looks like you're playing the defender. And then when he comes back to it, then there's contact. You know, that's where defensive back, you're in a great spot. You got to recognize and see that ball. If he turns around, he just blocks it down and maybe makes a play on it instead. Underthrown ball, great job by Hale coming back, and that's what drew the contact. And that's a big penalty. That's a first down on that play. So unfortunate for Centennial.
First round run by Jackson to get it to 3 yards, out to the 39-yard line. Bring up second down and 7. Gives to Jackson, wrapped up and dropped. He got hit almost immediately after he got the ball by C.J. Warren, who had help from a couple of teammates, and he lost on the play.
Well, that was a different looking play. It almost looked like Heidi didn't want to give that ball up, like maybe he was going to keep it. And Jackson just ended up keeping it, but that was a little bit, again, slower developing play, but nice push into the backfield by Centennial. It sets up another third down and long.
Third and 8 for Wayzata. Opening series of the second half. Heidi hit as he throws, has a man open though, and just off the fingertips of Hale and incomplete.
Well, nice job by Heidi getting rid of that. It looked like he got hit, but then watch Hale stop running and start backpedaling here. You can see right there, See how he stopped running and almost came back? If he would have kept running, I think that ball hits him in stride. You know, and sometimes it's hard to judge. It might look like it's underthrown, so you stop. But I think if he would have kept his momentum going, that would have been a completion. And we've seen Heidi punt out of this, 4th and long.
Punted once in the first half for 44 yards. And this one gets blocked. And only go to the 49-yard line. So that gets and that's 15 yards for Wayzata. And Centennial's got their best field goal position of the night at the 49.
Well, it's exactly what Centennial needed on this first possession, right? We heard Coach talk about, hey, have some pride. Well, they go out, they get a stop, get a hand up, get a deflection there, and they're going to have their best field position of the night.
A low punt gets blocked right at the line of scrimmage, and Centennial will take it over at their 49-yard line. 9.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. On first down, a little pitch. Here's the pass out of that by Larson. Gets the completion,
nice
and it's
play.
a first down for Centennial. Down to the 39-yard line on a completion to Flashing.
Great little trickery. I love to see it right out of the bat. You need a little spark, and you can kind of feel for the first time tonight, John, Centennial's got a little bit of spark, a little bit of energy and momentum going. They get a stop, deflected punt and a big play off the double pass here. Great execution. Not a home run, but a nice big play nonetheless.
Gain of 11 on first down here. A gain inside the 35. It's Eason. Back in at QB. You saw him come out in the first half and replaced by Cameron Dickman. And Eason comes back in here at QB in this series. Picks up 4 yards on the run.
Well, nice first down execution. You get positive yards like that, and they just got to keep chipping away.
On second down and 6, nice hole. The first down, Flashing all the way down to the 25-yard line.
And to be a successful football team, you have to have, in some regards, John, short-term memory. You got to forget that you're down 35-0, and we're probably not going to win this game. You got to think, let's win this half. And so far, Centennial has done that. We've by far the best drive that we've seen them, best momentum too.
On first down, it's Larson trying to sweep right, and he does get 5 yards down to the 20-yard line.
Well, nice job by number 17, Nolan Mendoza, too, out in front, blocking downfield. You see great teamwork, downfield blocking, nice job. Again, 6-yard gain on first down. That's a win for Centennial. Where in the first half, we were seeing 1 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard, 2 yard loss even on first down. Only 10 yards rushing in the first half. They've obviously achieved that already here early in the second half.
Ricky Eason will hand off to Flashing. He'll be close to a first down before he's stopped. And they will give him the first down.
Don't they just look a little quicker too, John? I mean, the plays are coming quick. They're good momentum. We saw a lot of fakes and slow developing plays by the Cougars in the first half. Now it's just great motion, quick handoffs going forward. And again, nothing big, not 50, 60-yard runs, but just chipping away. And that's Centennial football.
They give the Flashing on first down up the middle. 5 more yards before he's brought down by Palish. Second down and 5 from the 10.
And I think Coach Diggins had envisioned this exact type of football from the start of the game. Knowing maybe we don't have the home run power to beat Wayzata, but if we can control the clock, get first downs, keep our offense and just chip away and try to wear them down. Number one, that's great offense, but two, that keeps Wayzata's offense from getting on the field. So I think this is kind of what he envisioned.
Pitch to Flashing, nice cut back up the field. And he keeps driving down to the 7-yard line. It'll be third and short.
And Centennial too, playing with a little bit of momentum, a little bit of urgency. Nice rhythm too. They're getting the plays in and out, and they're getting up to the line quick. That time a little power sweep to the right side, and not much there, but you know, that was a play in the first half that they would have lost a couple of yards. That time still plowed forward for a gain of 3 or 4.
Fake it to Flashing, and Larson gets the carry, and he gets buried.
You know, anytime the Cougars have gone to that double fake, it just hasn't worked out because they're getting too much push. You see they fake, and they come back to that second one. Again, it allows the speed of Wayzata and that push to get going into the backfield.
Demro in on the tackle, leading the charge, and now one of the linemen for Centennial, Devin Brownlee is down.
Again, you hate to see it, and Centennial tonight certainly been plagued by injuries. We've seen a number of their key players have to leave the game, and Devin Brownlee, obviously a starter on that offensive line. Right guard, 6'1", 220 pounds.
Take a look at it again. There's Demro's gets rolled up, you know, or Demro comes on top rather of Brownlee. I don't know if that's where the injury occurred or right before that.
You see him almost holding his back there. I think when he got pushed back, someone's knee or helmet sometimes can get into that, and that could be painful.
Yeah, let's get up on his own, which is good to see. We'll get to an update on some of the other scores. Mounds View, a close game against Burnsville. Minnetonka all over Anoka. Rosemont leading Stillwater. Totino Grace hanging tough with Blaine. 7-0 Bengals in that one. Prior Lake and Buffalo in a little bit of a shootout. Eastview up on Armstrong, and East Ridge about to eliminate Forest Lake, it looks like.
I think that Blaine score is a little surprising, right? Only up 7-0. And I'll tell you that it's a lot of parity this year. I feel like in years past, and maybe Lakeville North is that team this year that, you know, I feel like it's always kind of been Eden Prairie and everyone else, but I feel like there's 5 or 6 teams, if they were to play their best, that could find their way playing for the state championship this year.
Here we go for Centennial on 4th down. They've got to go for it. They do. Eason roll out. Now he's going to step up and run to the end zone, and the ball comes out and recovered by Wayzata. He was coming so close to the end zone, and then he lost it, got hit, and Benninger recovers for Wayzata. It's a touchback.
What a great play fake. They did that double handoff, and they kept it for the first time tonight, Ricky Eason. And it looked like, John, he could have walked into the end zone, and I thought he was going to. And he got hit right before the goal line. I mean, it couldn't have been more than the half-yard line, and that ball popped up, and Johnny on the spot, Benninger recovers it. Let's see where he was when that ball came loose. Oh, that's close, isn't it?
It might have been Palish that popped it loose.
I mean, just right at the goal line. Great job by our camera guys out there. I mean, that's inches away. If he has control of that ball once it crosses the plane, that's a touchdown. I'll tell you, nice job by Wayzata not giving up on the play, going to contact, and they popped it loose, and wow, that's just been that kind of night.
And a good hard run. Pregame, who had 3 touchdowns in the first half, that's his longest run tonight, picks up 10 yards.
You know,
seen he and Jackson kind of alternate, a little bit of Underhill tonight, but it's mostly 33 and 34 running the ball.
You know, Mike Diggins talked about having pride and winning the half, and saw a great 3 and out. They get the ball, they march down the whole length of the field, and then to see that happen, that's, you talk about deflating for your whole program.
First down give. Pregame gets out past the 35. A nice hard 5-yard run there to the 36. Second down and 5. Looking to the sideline for the play.
And it seems like it's taking a little bit longer than normal.
Yep. handoff and a run
tackle
outside, and a nice tackle to stop Pregame short of the first down.
And Casey Trapp came up, did a nice job to make that tackle. And see how he went low, right? You teach that in football. The low guy usually wins. You see a lot of these tacklers try to tackle these powerful running backs up high, and they just get driven backwards. Casey Trapp does a nice job getting low, making a nice tackle, but still a positive gain and sets up a very third manageable.
3rd down and 1. Heidi looking. And handoff. Pregame again. Close to the first down. Needed to get to the 41. They'll get a first down. Nice way to finish the run. Didn't get much, but needed enough. 2. Got enough, yes.
You know, and it's weird too. I don't know if those are designed to come back to the outside. I mean, it looks like it's just an inside zone up the middle. And we've seen the last couple kicking it outside, running to the left there, but showing off some good speed. And again, to your point, John, he just finishes. All the Wayzata backs have finished strong tonight, and it might not seem like much, but you know, when it's 3rd and 2 and you're hit and you just dive forward, you're going to get the first down quite a bit. And you can see on the sideline too that one of their big tight ends, Billy Rivera, limping off to the sideline.
Heidi on the keeper. He's got a lot of room inside the 40. Lowers his shoulder and gets out of bounds at the 33-yard line of Centennial. Gain of 25 for Heidi.
Well, I'll tell you that Wayzata set that play up all night long. He has not kept it. We saw him run a design sweep, but that time, really, I think the first time tonight where he off that option play where he kept it, and you can see the defense completely collapsed to the middle, and Heidi's got some good speed too once he's getting to the outside. I've been very impressed with him as a quarterback tonight.
Pregame gets the call on the first play of new set of downs and gets down to the 30-yard line at Centennial. Gain of 3.
You know, and I mentioned too that Billy Revere is on the sideline now, their big tight end, number 2. You know, and this is, again, we kind of talked about it at halftime, is, you know, how deep do you want to play guys? You know, you don't want to be sloppy, you don't want to quip it. You also want to protect your main guys going into next week too.
And I'm sure they like to finish here, Ryan. Another thing too, you get another score. You get to, well, you have, actually you're at it now. You get to running time in the fourth quarter. You feel better if you get to 42 points even. It's 35 or more. Pass here, it's broken up, incomplete. A flag comes out.
2 flags. Yeah, I think they're going to get an ineligible lineman downfield.
Trying to go to Brody Bjork there. Looks like it will be on Centennial. They're going to decide what to do here with the flags. Maybe we'll take it. They'll send them back. Repeat 2nd down. You can see that was
and you can see Wayzata hasn't let their foot off the gas. No. They're still throwing and running hard, and you know, I'm a big fan of that. I know some people say, why would you ever throw when you're up 35? Listen, it's fair game. Our starters are in there. We're still trying to get better, and you're trying to build for momentum for the next week too. So I love what Wayzata's doing here in the second half.
Heidi's going to keep.
Oh, nice move.
Nice move. All of a sudden in the open, down the sideline, and all the way down to the 5. That was going to go for nothing, and he gets 28 yards out of it.
That was just great footwork. He came like he was bouncing outside, then he stopped for a second like he was going to cut back, and whoever that defensive end was on the outside, you're going to see right there, he tricks him, and then he bounces it outside. And again, good speed, able to pull away from Josh Meyer, number 10, and that was just great footwork. No quit. And you can see Heidi, he's effective when he runs the ball. They haven't done it much tonight, but the few times they have.
And watch Pregame, he stays with his block long enough to allow Heidi to bounce outside too.
And again, it was just that stop, like he was going to cut back, and it just tricked that defensive end. He gets to the outside.
First and goal from the 5. Pregame breaks a tackle. He's into the end zone for the 4th time tonight.
Man, did he finish that one off or what? Ran right through a defender, kept those legs going, and that extra effort barrels over the end zone. 4 touchdowns in one night. What a night for that young man. And nice all set up too by Heidi on that 3rd and long. Beautiful run. Wayzata firing on all cylinders. Right there, and this good cutback runs through that, but look at that, finishing that run. Looked like he was gonna go down. Watch his knee almost hit the ground, and right there, he just, that extra keeps those feet moving, drives into the end zone. Extra point is good. We got 42-0, John.
Touchdown run again.
So there's one missed tackle, 2 right there.
We talked. Allie talked about it in her pregame about Vassar being out tonight. Christian Vassar is the leading tackler, and like who's going to step up?
Yeah.
And it's been Pregame, it's been Jackson, Underhill a little bit, although not since the first half. But he had 3 rushes for 50 yards. Pregame had 4 touchdowns tonight. Jackson's had a nice yard rushing. Look at all those touchdowns.
1 yard,
5 yards,
3 yards, 4 yards, 5. The next one, I'm guessing, is going to go for 6 or 7. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine that Wayzata could, is missing someone right now, right? With the way that they're balanced and throwing the ball well, and mix in two Heidi runs lately.
Yeah, 25 and 30 yards on that drive.
I mean, big time runs by the quarterback. We didn't see that in the first half. So, what should have been a Centennial score, 35-7, instead that turnover at the goal line, and Wayzata marches down, converts that big 3rd down on the Heidi quarterback run there and punches it in. So they go the length of the field. Just a nice job by Wayzata. Good answer. They've been dominant tonight on all cylinders.
This kick will be handled at the 5-yard line. This is Larson on the return for Centennial, trying to find some room on the left sideline, and gets knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Well, Wayzata will move on into the playoffs. They will likely play Woodbury as the #1 seed on their side of the bracket. The Royals at home tonight against Egan in a tight game, but they are leading. Woodbury is 13-0 at the end of 3 quarters against Egan.
Yeah, that'll be a good matchup. Again, we saw that at Champlin Park last week, being able to kind of watch highlights during the game. But what a great benefit for these kids, and you can see the camera angles behind, so you really get a good idea of what the defense is doing, what's working. You talk about in-game adjustments. What an advantage for schools that are able to do that.
First down throw is incomplete. Centennial comes out throwing as Dickman is back in at quarterback for Centennial.
Yeah, weird, because Ricky Easton kind of led that last drive, and really I thought they were bang. They were running the football. A couple quarterback keepers too, and they go back to Dickman that time, and you can see he's got a strong arm, but that one just a little bit off.
Marco Lopesio, senior quarterback, warming up. Good chance we'll see him next series. You're a senior, you want to get in and play off some playoff football if you're the backup to Keaton Heidi, who's also a senior. Dickman throwing left and deep, overthrown and intercepted. Benega with the pick, and Centennial with their 4th turnover tonight.
Well, I like the thought they're going deep, and Benega with great speed. You just never allow that receiver to get over the top. That ball overthrown. Benega did a great job adjusting to the football. That was not an easy catch. Watch him switch here at the last second, go over the shoulder right there. That is a hard catch, and that's his 4th interception on the year. His 2nd takeaway tonight. He was the one that recovered that fumble right at the goal line or in the end zone, and that time, again, I love the shot down the field, just a little bit overthrown, and Benega's another one of those guys that just got a great nose for the football. Trevor Palesh is also one of those guys who's always by the ball too, but you just got a bunch of gamers on this Wayzata team, really on both sides of the football, and that's why I said I don't think there's a team out there that wants to see Wayzata in the playoffs.
And we do have a change at quarterback as we mention that Osseo was warming up, and it's a handoff on first down here. No gain, it'll be second down and 10. Jackson on the carry. I don't think they're going to have to snap it. No, maybe they have to snap it one more time here before the end of the quarter. No, they won't, and that will be the end of the third quarter of play. Our score after 3, Wayzata 42, Centennial nothing. Trojans with a quarter to go to close it out. We'll take a break, come back. More 6A football on CCX after this timeout.
Local Vote 2018 focuses on the candidates that make key decisions close to home. As you decide how to vote for people who will represent you on your city council, on your school board, and in the state legislature, hear from the candidates themselves first. Whether it's a candidate statement on CCX News, local political forum, or election night coverage, you can find it all on CCX Media and ccxmedia.org.
Wayzata 42, Centennial nothing. Ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Running time, except for timeouts, injuries. The rest of the way here, unless the margin gets under 35 points. So some substitutions, more substitutions for Wayzata on offense. Trying to get everybody in that they want to. Get these guys some snaps here tonight in the rain. They wait on the sideline, Ryan, get a chance to.
Absolutely, and this is their game right now, right? Yeah, false start there. You know, that's the thing. You come in, you got to be sharp. You don't get a lot of opportunities, and you want to get in there and, you know, whether you're a younger player trying to make an impression for next year or a senior, you're getting some time. You want to be sharp when your number is called.
So second down and 15 after the false start on offense. And Osseo throwing deep and incomplete.
No, there's got to be a flag. Is there one thrown? Yep, there is one.
Brody Bjork, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Brody Bjork there, definitely contact. Looked like he got slowed down. You're going to see defensive pass interference. Now remember, that's not an automatic first down at the high school level. But I think it's going to be 15 yards, so it might be a first down. Yeah, definitely contact. It almost looked like there was a tackle made before that ball got there.
It was not a. Bjork wasn't liking that, right?
I didn't see
all right. He got the flag.
Yeah. Well, nice looking ball too by Osseo, showing off his arm, and definitely a good looking throw.
Give to Jackson, who's in the game, and a breaking tackles and all the way down to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 20. But you're done Vassar, and we haven't seen Underhill since the first half, so you still have some. Got to play somebody, and Jackson gets his number called. A nice hard run by Malachi Jackson. The junior picks up 20.
Well, remember we talked earlier we talked about how patient he was, and that time, he just exploded. He's got some good speed. The way he runs is almost deceptively fast, because he's got that good patience, and then just a great burst of speed north and south. And nice job on the left side of that line there, opening that up, and Jackson. Big gain. Wayzata really dominating the line of scrimmage again in the second half.
Jackson is going to pick up more. Still on his feet. And he's down to the 15-yard line. That's a first down. Jackson back-to-back runs, 20 and 15 yards, and you see the linemen that are in the game and getting a chance to get some blocks are getting good blocks for Jackson.
Well, back-to-back times they're on the left side, too. You saw a really nice opening. Back-to-back first downs, too.
York in the backfield now, trying to get outside and gets down to the 21-yard line. They're signaling the clock to keep running, but it should keep running anyway. So I don't know if we can get some clarification on that, but it should be running time. It shouldn't be stopping for anything.
Yeah, nice
Loss
job
on the play. Well read by Centennial, strung out, and Hayes couldn't get upfield.
No, I'll tell you, he's had a nice game, too, for Centennial, and that's number 55, C.J. Warren, defensive end. He's still in there. He's made a number of plays. He saw that big sack he had on Heidi earlier in the game and batted the ball down, and he's really had a nice game. That time showing his speed from that left defensive end position, just running outside, chasing the running back down. Nice. He's had a nice game. Trying to go to the left that time and cut back to the right, just nowhere to go. A lot of white jerseys there, and that's where if you're running back and you can see York there, just you got to be quick, you got to be decisive. There's not a lot of room for that back and forth. You got to go north and south. You got to do it pretty quick. Some of the great running backs really make it look easy, don't they, John?
You appreciate the good run, right?
Yep.
Good runner. Jackson back in the backfield. Third down. Running time rule. Officials timeouts. The clock does stop for first downs, penalties, injuries, change of possession, or touchdown. But if it's just a sideline play, like we saw a couple times ago, it would continue to run. Third down, they give it to Jackson. Had a couple of big runs on this drive and picks up about 10 here. And it'll be fourth down.
See that rain continuing to come down. Again, back to the left side. Look at the blocks. Just a huge hole there. Great job by that left side. And Jackson's had a couple of big runs on this drive. And again, he's another one that just finishes those runs hard. I would not want to tackle him in open space.
We got 44 yards rushing just on this series. Fourth down coming. About 7 to go.
I think Coach Brown gonna let this run down to the play clock and take a timeout. Does running time run through timeouts, John?
It doesn't. Running time does not run through a timeout.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they've done a really nice job kicking the football tonight. Would you try to work on, special teams and get a field goal out of it? You may, you might need that in the future. And obviously, they got the leg to do it. Reed Sanders got a strong leg. We've seen him on the kickoffs tonight with a bunch of touchbacks into the end zone. And so you'd obviously think they're in his range, but also
he's out there, and Heidi's out there as the holder. So I think your thinking is right, Ryan. Maple Grove will win it tonight, a shutout. 28-0 against White Bear Lake.
Well, with Coach Lombardi, and you give him 9 days to prepare and zero in, he's such a smart X's and O's football coach, and he usually gets his defenses as ready as you can be. And they're another team, too, you just wouldn't want to see in the playoffs. You think it's easy. You stop Evan Hall and you win the game. Well, that's so much easier said than done. He's just such a beast. And their defense is young, but they got some playmakers on defense, too.
30-yard field goal attempt for Sanders. Right through the middle.
Well, he hit that. That one didn't look like it came off his leg quite as clean as he would want, but he just had enough leg strength there where he just kind of powered that through the end zone. I got to imagine with his strength, if he got a hold of one and had a good kick, that he could kick 45, 50 yards if need be. That time wasn't a great kick, but again, didn't get it up in the air very well, but look at the velocity on it and just hammered it through. And again, you're looking at building for next week, and I mean, how many times do we see these playoff games come down to one possession or a missed extra point or a field goal? And so you just want to make sure you're firing on all cylinders. So I like that decision by Coach Brown.
For Centennial, your offense is probably, it's a good chance it's probably could be your last series of the game, of the season. The Cougars, you hope for better results. I mean, it's been a better half for them, but still not been able to put any points on the board. Seemed so close on that run by Easton down to the goal line till the ball was popped up by, it looked like by Palish, and recovered in the end zone by Benega. This one will be another touchback for Sanders.
And John, not that the outcome was decided, but if you remember to start the half, Wayzata received it. Centennial got a stop, got the ball back, had that really nice drive, and then that fumble at the 1-inch line. It would have been 35-7 at that point, and maybe they got momentum, maybe they get another stop. You just never know, right? And instead they fumble, it's a touchback, and Wayzata goes down the field and scores, and it's 42-0, and the momentum is completely back on the Trojan side. So,
24 points off turnovers now for Wayzata out of their 45. The quarterback in, an incomplete pass in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Gabe Koenig, senior, will come in and play some quarterback. And so opportunity for him to get a few snaps in his last high school game for the Cougars.
We're getting a nice throw too that time by Gabe, but Centennial hasn't done their quarterbacks any favors tonight either. We've seen a couple of drops, and a couple of them have been on third down and would have been first down conversions. And when you're on the road, you're playing a good opponent. You gotta make those little plays. You gotta hold on to the football too.
Koenig, a little pitch, a little bit behind the running back, is able to grab it for a loss. Nolan Mendoza on the recovery, or he was the one that was pitched back to it, and did a good job just to get it.
Yeah, and that's tough too. Yeah, for a new quarterback, you come in and you run the option to the left side, right? Option's such a timing play, and if you got a different quarterback with a running back he's not used to, you got to be a certain distance, and it's almost like you're on a string, right? When you teach that, and it's all timing, and it's hard to do it when you're coming in cold like that to get the timing down perfectly. Nice job just to recover and hang on to that ball.
Third and 15, back at the 15. Roll out. We're throwing it and incomplete. Kind of floated it out to the right here, trying to hit Yachi Chula with the pass, and it's incomplete. It's fourth down.
And again, that ball hung in the air. It was short, and Yachi's got to make a play coming back to that. Try to make a catch on that. And, that's another difference tonight. We've seen the Wayzata players come back and make those plays in the receiving game, and Centennial, unfortunately, just hasn't adjusted to the ball in some of those longer passes.
Punt away. Bounce at the 44 and roll out of bounds at the 46-yard line. That's where Wayzata will get possession. Anderson we saw him go out earlier with an injury. He limps back onto the field and gets a pretty decent punt away here, but he was limping all the way to the sideline, both from and to the huddle.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of Wayzata punts, but really the few we have, both punters done a nice job in these conditions. And Anderson early in the game had that low snap that he scooped and got a good punt. So he's had a nice game in special teams, no question about it. You can tell Wayzata thinks it's over. The special teams are putting the kicking practice equipment away in the bag.
Thomas Schmidt Jr. is the new quarterback, number 14 for Wayzata. He'll give to Bjork, cuts it up inside, 40-yard line, breaks a tackle. Bjork to the 30, 25, 20, all the way down to the 18. Bjork likey that run as he picks up 27 yards.
Well, you can see that time able to get free to the outside. He's got some great speed. And a nice touchdown saving tackle there. Good kick out there and a nice jump.
Nice little cut
there. Yeah, I was just saying, good cutback, breaks that tackle, and then he's off to the races. And again, finishes the run hard. That was almost like jumping on a bull, trying to bring a bull down on that tackle. They get Wayzata with we talked about their great balance in the first half. They've gone to the running game here in the second half because they haven't needed the passing game.
Another senior getting a chance to run the ball there on Bjork, and the ball was dropped by Schmidt, able to pick it up. Lost 3 on the play.
Well, heads up by Schmidt that time. Drops the ball, but still turns a terrible play and able to get upfield a little bit and prevent
didn't
the
panic,
loss.
just picked it up and did what he could.
It's always hard too when you're coming in for your first action deep into the game. A lot of times the defense is still out there, so everyone else is in the rhythm of the game except for you, and sometimes the speed, and it just takes a play or two to really get acclimated to it.
Second down and 13 coming as we wind down inside of 2 minutes to play. Schmidt out of the shotgun, standing at the 26. He'll hand off to Bjork. Cut inside the 15. Another nice run for Bjork. He's down to the 9-yard line. Close to a first down, but a little bit short.
And they're not decisive cuts, like you see, but I want you to watch how slippery he is right there. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but you see a white jersey has a free run on him, and he just sidesteps him and gets upfield for a good gain of probably 11 or 12 out of it, and sets up a 3rd and 1. So nice job. Bjork's looked very nice on his last 2 runs.
Yeah, 2 runs for 39 yards. That's pretty good for the average, right?
I have that at 19.5 yards average. A Delaware mathematics degree I got is coming into play.
Third down and 1. Inside of a minute to go. This might just be a victory formation play, it looks like.
Yeah, classy job, classy move by Coach Brown. Not a great snap there, but I'll tell you, it's always tough because you got new guys in the game and you want to give them a chance sometimes to score, but just a classy move by Coach Brown, knowing 45-0, game's over, take a knee, and a dominating performance tonight by the Trojans.
Right, a tough way for Centennial to end the season. So many close losses during the season, and tonight, they had an injury early on, and things just kind of snowballed on them in a hurry. And as you heard Coach Diggins say at halftime, he said, "Hey, that's not the team I've seen and coached all year," and they could never get on track.
Well, and they got blitzed. And you heard him talk about it, and that's exactly what happened. Just like that, 14-0, and turnovers, and hats off to Wayzata. I thought defensively they completely shut down what Centennial wanted to do, and 2 things happened tonight. One is most points that Centennial's given up all year, and 2, they haven't been shut out all year either. So you kind of had both things on offense and defense go as bad as it possibly could. And Coach Diggins, I learned a lot about him tonight, how he coaches and the messages he preaches. He's an awesome guy, a great coach, and they had a lot of guys play hard too, and they lost a couple of key injuries. Obviously losing their quarterback 2/3 of the way through the season. You lose their leading rusher here tonight, and you're scrambling there, and Wayzata just came out and just dominated tonight. And that's a great way to build momentum going into the next round, where they're going to probably play Woodbury, on the road, and it's going to take a good effort. But I can tell you this, John, if they play like they did tonight, they will beat Woodbury next week.
Woodbury up 20-0 very late in that game, so looks like they will advance and host Wayzata next Friday night. Trojans can celebrate. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back and hear from the winners in a moment. You're watching coverage of the Class 6A football playoffs on CCX.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
$45-0 Wayzata over Centennial. Trojans enjoy this one in the rain, and they advance in the 6A playoffs. On to the next round, where they'll play Woodbury next Friday night at Woodbury, the number 1 seed in this part of the bracket. 6A playoffs down to 16 teams after tonight's play. Let's go down to the field. Allie standing by with a couple of winning Trojans players.
Winning and wet, guys. This entire game, it rained the whole time. We're going to start with Bennett Pregame. 4 touchdowns tonight. Absolutely incredible performance. How are you guys so effective at the goal line tonight?
Well, we just try to block it on the outside and inside and punch through with me, and pretty much that's the game plan. I'm the short yardage guy, I have less than 100 yards and 8 touchdowns this year, so it's a great feeling. I love it. Well,
they love to utilize you in that position because they know you can get through. Of those 4 touchdowns, what was your favorite, and walk us through it?
Probably my first one because, it's just the best to score the first touchdown of the game, and it's the greatest feeling ever. I mean, this is my first year playing varsity, and I just love it. It's amazing.
Well, an incredible performance for first year in varsity. Yeah. Centennial has not allowed a team to score 35 points all season. You guys did it in the first half. Where did that performance come from? How were you able to do that?
Well, through the whole week we were preparing and hyping up, and, our motto is fast, tough, finish, so we came out fast, we kept going fast, and we finished the game and every play at the goal line.
You guys are officially taking on the number 1 seed Woodbury. They won tonight. What does this win tonight say as you guys face that number 1 seed, but this is going to be a great matchup?
Well, what this win says is it keeps our momentum going, and into the next game, we're ready to come out hard and fast and win that game.
Congratulations on a great performance tonight. Go celebrate with your team. We're going to turn it over to Jacob Beninga here. Beninga, there's a lot of different pronunciations for that one. This was also a monster night for defense. You guys were able to post your 2nd shutout of the season. How'd you do it?
Well, we came in with a game plan of executing, and all week at practice, we like he said, we played fast, tough, and finish. So we really carried that out and put a full. My son right there. That's my son, Anthony Ukofia. That's my son. But we put a game plan together and we executed.
You had a fumble recovery in the 3rd quarter. Take us through that play because you guys got a touchback off of that.
Well. So my guy went out for a route. I'm just covering him. I look back. Quarterback's running at me, and Keegan Nickel was the one who deserves all the credit for that. He's the one who punched it out. I was just in the right position. And apparently if I would have turned around, I would have had a touchdown. But we're just happy to get the ball back to the offense. So
there was a second time you were in the right position with that interception that followed not long after. Take us through that play as well.
Just doing my keys, reading my guy. He went deep. I followed him and just made the play like I have been all season. So
24 points off of turnovers for your defense tonight. Where's your guys' confidence level as you get ready to take on this number 1 seed in Woodbury?
We know in playoffs, seeds don't matter, so we just got to go in with the game plan and play as a team. Anything can happen. We don't see seeds. We just see who can play better on Friday nights, and we'll see what happens.
Well, this team made a statement in their first round of playoffs. Congrats, Jacob.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right. Thanks very much, Allie. And yes, Let's give hats off to Keegan Nickel. I think we gave Palish credit for that
whoever
fumble.
Forced
fumble, and it was Nickel on the goal line that forced it, and Benega getting a recovery. And so they come out, second half, obviously not able to put up 35 points. You don't expect that, but they finish strong. You know, they come out, put 10 more points on the board, and shut out Centennial in the second half.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, they wanted to come out and defensively, and John, I said it in the pregame, and I'll say it again, if their defense can travel next week and they can win the turnover battle, they will beat Wayzata. Woodbury. That's how good, that's how talented they are. And I'll tell you, if Keaton Heide can come and play like he did tonight, throw that accurate football and be a running threat, and they have you can see the depth at running back if they're all healthy, and the size and the athletes that they have. This Wayzata is a complete football team. And again, your defense can travel, you take care of the football, you're going to win a lot of games, and then you add up the talent that they have. I wouldn't be shocked to see them, beat Woodbury next week. I really wouldn't.
Maple Grove among the other teams that advance from our CCX area, a shutout win tonight. So Champlin Park a win. So all those teams advancing to the round of 16 in the 6A playoffs. That'll do it for our action tonight here from Wayzata High School. More prep football in the weeks to come on CCX as the playoffs continue. For Ryan Iverson, Ali Arlton, all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Our final score again tonight from Wayzata. The Trojans win in advance, 45-0 Wayzata the final.